Three, two, one. Welcome back to another episode of TacoCorp Fantasy Football League podcast. I am your host, Nate, and today I am joined once again by my good friend back from the West Coast, as I am Tony from the 58 West King podcast. How the hell's it going, Tony?
It's going good. Thanks for having me back on our last episode. It was good. It was real good, Nate.
How good? I've
listened to it at least 3 times. You can have me on more often.
You have 75% of the listens.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. We're a little bit above that. That's cool. How was California for you?
It was good. Topic of discussion for what do we have here? Rant, rave. We got a top of mind, so I'll talk about it. But it was nice. It was pretty cool while we were there. Like there was overcast pretty much the entire time while we were in San Diego. Anaheim, it rained one of the 3 days we were there. So
nice.
Was expecting to come back with a darker shade.
Yeah,
but it was nice. It was okay.
Cool. All right. So we'll get into some of the topics that we got here for the podcast today. We got, as usual, top of mind. It's just what's on the top of our mind coming into this week or out of last week. Manager on manager, where we get to know each other a little bit better. Some sports news and notes. We'll do a draft, finish out with rants and raves before we leave you with a banger of the week. So top of mind, Tony, you go first. What's on top of your mind this week?
Disneyland. So I don't know if you can see the shirt I'm sporting here.
Nice.
Yeah, souvenir, but Lightning Lane. Do you know what this is? Genie
Tell me
Plus,
about it.
Lightning Lane?
I know about Genie Plus, yeah.
So I think Disneyland used to have like the fast pass. So you could just like ad hoc go through the park, stand in a line, get on a ride.
Yeah.
Kind of how we used to do things. But I think the fast pass, you just would show up at a certain time and then you could get on faster. Well, now you have to pay for Genie Plus or the Lightning Lane, and it's $25 a ticket. I think it's fucking ripoff. So like a family of 4 is paying what, $200 to $300 a ticket if you're doing like the park hopper multi-day thing. You're paying $30 a day in parking, right, for the normal parking. I think you can upgrade that to like $40 for premium. You're spending money on a hotel that's like $200 to $400 a night. If you're off, the Disney Resort is ridiculous. I'm not even going to bring that up. Food, a meal there for like a person's like over $20. So a family of 4, it's like $80 to $100. You got to have snacks, right? Churros. They need more churro carts. That's another thing I'm pissed off about. Like every cart, churro cart had a line of like 50 people. It was stupid. You're spending money on gifts. Plus you got to get that stupid Disney purse backpack thing. Do you know what these are?
Yeah. The little ones, they sell them in like Box Lunch or Hot Topic and stuff like that.
Yeah. Girls wear them, guys wear them, kids wear them, adults wear them. Like everyone has them, but I don't know. The lines with Lightning Lanes, I think they're really dumb. They let the Lightning Lane payers, so the people who pay $25 a ticket, in addition to their ticket, they let them through it like a 10-to-1 clip. So you can sit there and wait for an hour and you're just watching all these people with the lightning pass just walk past you. It's so stupid. Like it creates so much congestion. I'm not a fan. It's awesome if you have it, but I think it's just fucking stupid. And I ran the numbers here. We're being nickel and dime, Nate. Disney generates $20 billion a year in revenue. They profit like 5 to 6% typically, some years more. Do you know how much money that is?
A lot.
That's like over 1.2 billion. There's some change there. They don't even pay a dividend on their stock anymore. So I'm pissed at Disney right now.
How much Disney stock do you have that you don't get dividends for? That's what you're pissed off about. Not anything to do with paying $25 extra a ticket per person or anything like that. It's the fact that you let 10 people go by and 40 people go by and 60 and 80, probably like 200 people go by. And you don't even get a stipend.
Nothing. Yeah, my
like
portfolio is killing me right now.
Anything else on top of your mind?
That's it for now.
All right. Nice. Me, top of mind. I tweeted out on my personal Twitter at NateRave530. I might be changing all of my fandom for sports minus the Dodgers. I don't know what it is. Part of me is like, you know what? I should just root for New York teams, have a city that I represent, and that's it. Maybe it's because, I got a Christmas trip planned to go to New York or something like that, but there's something about being a fan of shit teams. And I feel like I'm in a weird point where I think the Kings are going to make the playoffs this year. They're nasty, dude. Keegan Murray, the rookie, is just like putting up 28 points a game in preseason. He lit up the summer league and stuff. I got to see him play when I was out there in Vegas. The dude is nasty, kind of like Jason Tatum. So I think the Kings make it into the playoffs this year. So it's like, the team I've been rooting for forever is about to get good. But you know what? The Knicks are never good. That's a cool team to root for, because when it does come, like, yeah, I was there, right? And I have dreams and admirations to live in like Manhattan for a year or two after like the kids move out and stuff like that. Just have like a little, basically a bedroom type of, apartment deal, 30 floors up or whatever.
Couple hundred square feet.
Yeah, that's all I need, right? Like maybe 250, 300. I don't even walk around in my house. Like I got 2 stories, and it's like I don't use the couches downstairs. I don't do any of that. I basically sit in my bed or at this chair at my computer. So it's like I spend all my time in my bedroom anyways. But the Jets, like it would be cool to be a Jets fan right now, because they've always stunk, right? And everybody shits on you, and they're just like winning games they shouldn't. Or the Giants. I wouldn't be a Giants fan. That seems too proper. You got to be a grit fan. So I don't know. Part of me is thinking about that, but we
could probably be better friends if you do this, because you're a 49ers fan currently. I'm a Rams fan. You're also a Kings fan. I'm a Lakers fan. There's a little bit of a rivalry there. So I think you should make this happen.
Completely revolved around cheating and robbery of a championship, and a 7'45", size 37-foot wearing guy talking about Hicks and Cowboys and cowbells, and then he ends up owning part of the team later on. Like, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, that sucked. Fuck Donahue, whatever the hell his name was. But there's that's on top of my mind. I just got out of class tonight, so on Wednesday nights I have a class that's just called innovation. So all we do is create products and try to solve problems in the world or whatever. It's just a do class basically. And over the last like 4 weeks that I've gone, we've basically dominated, like my table, my group, we've dominated the innovation war, to where I don't even know what other people make when they present it, because I'm like, it's just not as good as ours. And today we created a park here in the Colorado Springs area that hits like 7 different new ideas to be an all-inclusive style park, right? For anybody with like sensory issues, blind, handicap, all this kind of stuff, right? And find a good place to put it in the city. So we built one, built out a model in like 40 minutes, addressed all the issues and stuff like that, and put it directly in the hood. If you know the Colorado Springs area, you go to like Circle and Fountain. There's a donut shop called Amy's Donuts right there. That's like a staple of Colorado Springs. But it's not in a good area, and they're open till like 1 or 2 in the morning. But that's an area you don't want to be in at 1 or 2 in the morning, because you might just be wearing the wrong color or something, right? So it's like, let's put this fantastic big bright park right in the middle of that area. You got good sense from the donut shop, this, and some of the things we came up with in the park. The teacher was like, you guys should, if you guys want to do a startup and make that, and it's become a current recurring thing within our table every single week. So he's like, dude, every week you guys are just killing it. This. I might be an inventor, Tony. I don't know.
I don't like the park over there. You can't be increasing property values on that side of town.
That was another topic too. We did one before. It was like, how do we innovate to address the how do you say this? The rising housing costs, right? And affordable housing within the city. And it's like, I don't know how you deal with like, putting more money in people's pockets, because it's a free market economy. And if, you want to buy a house cheap, but everybody wants to sell their house for as much as they can too. Right. So like, it's cool when you're trying to buy a house, but the same person who buys a house, and you're like, nope, you can only sell for this much. They're going to be like, fuck you. It's worth this much. Right. So it's hard. It's a tough decision, but yeah. So we were looking to bring some light to the hood. So that was something there, but that's on my mind.
That's awesome. All jokes aside, I like it.
Thanks. Before class, like our computer systems were down at work today, so we kind of just did some meeting stuff, and then we jammed out at like noon or something like that. So I went to Barnes and Noble, because that's like my spot when I got time to kill. Did that, and then I was like, I'm so hungry. So I was driving, and I found a Del Taco, and I was like, I ain't had Del Taco in a while. I fucked up, Tony, because I sat there and ate like $23 worth of Del Taco, because I was like, oh, I want those carne asada fries. I want to see what they got there. I want this type of quesadilla tacos. So I got the combo with that. But then they also had this quesarito combo carne asada burrito too. And I ate all of it before class. It took me about 25 minutes before my stomach was like, you got diarrhea. And so I'm driving fast as fuck down the road trying to get to school just so I can go blow up a bathroom. And I got there like an hour 20 before, and I used the restroom 3 times before class started. And I was like, yo, I'm sorry, I might have to leave because I got the shits because I ate $23 worth of Del Taco.
That's
But
awesome.
that's what's on my mind going in and out of this week and in and out of me. So moving on. Manager on manager. So this is a segment where we get to know each other a little bit better. A lot of us in our league, this podcast for new listeners is based around the 12 people in our fantasy league. And some of us are geographically separated. So there's a way for us to all kind of get to know each other, maybe listen in and have a conversation and be like, oh, I didn't know that about Tony or Nate. So my question here, and this is solely based off of me asking for a friend, also known as me, this last weekend, and you saw my screenshots and you could do the math. How do you handle a very bad sports betting weekend?
It was a bad week for anyone who does this professionally, as amateurs like us. I think a couple of the experts using quotation marks here I listened to, they were under 500 on the week. So, but for you, I think you got to pull it back the following week. So week 7, man, make smaller bets, make smarter bets, maybe no parlays. I've had like 2 or 3 weeks like that every year where I lose like I try to empty the account out every week. Yeah. But I think you just have to have a limit in your DK or your FanDuel and BetMGM, whatever accounts you have, like just have a limit. I always have a dollar amount that I have. If I go over, like if I have a really good week, I'll transfer that to PayPal. And I'll only see I keep it to $100 in each of those accounts. I have the 2, and that's all I bet. That way I can't I'm not ending up mortgaging the house. But
it's $600 too much to lose on a Sunday.
That is way too much to lose. You're up there in like Kendall territory. But is this why you sold your truck? Is that why? Is it?
I definitely sold my truck so that I can have an extra $15K in my pocket to just gamble away on FanDuel. I did look at my account because the other day I was looking at it and I had a few good weeks, right? And some larger size bets. And so I looked at the account thing that Matt Kindle had sent in text, right? Where it shows how much you bet, right? And his is, I mean, Jesus Christ, like the amount that he's risked, right? And he's lucky he's like at a 50-50 mark of, he's pretty even, right? Yeah. And I looked at mine and it was like $8,500 something, right? Since I opened the account, but I've only started betting since I really got here. So in about a year, I've wagered somewhere around $8,500. And going into last week, into last weekend, I was plus $530 or something like that. And right now I am negative like $120, but I got some bangers in there already. Like I bet New England. I think it was at the 7 once it opened, and it's at 7.5 now too. So I don't think they end up losing, but I think they're playing the Bears.
Yeah. Monday night.
Yeah. Bears Monday night. Right. And it's in New England, and they opened up at 7. I was like, that number should probably be 8 or 9. Cause I don't think the Bears score a point. And Ramondre Stevenson's just going to run for a bunch of yards, right? So I'll be putting in a hefty bet on Ramondre Stevenson over, no matter what it is. If it's under 100 yards, then I'm doing it. And it'll probably be around like 80 or 70 something. So
yeah, they have like the 31st or 32nd ranked defense, like across the board, rushing, passing, total. Yeah. They're bad, the Lions.
Yeah. So anyways, if you're out there, recommendation, don't spend like $1,000 a weekend just because it's like, it's terrible. So this is the problem with like being in a better place financially, to where it's like, I don't like to go out and do stuff. Like if I go to sports games, that's cool, right? Like I kind of want to go to the Avs game this Friday night because the girls, I had to pick them up. I had to pick them up Saturday morning, and I haven't really done like a sports thing this week. I wanted to go to Kansas City this last weekend, and I was looking at it, I was like, it's going to cost me like $800, and I already have like 600 in wagers. So I'm glad I didn't do it. Yeah. I would have been pissed being at that game, but just like getting a rental car to drive out there, and the ticket price was like $3 something is stupid. But yeah, when you get in a better place and it's like, oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to spend copious amounts of money on dumb shit rather than like saving and thinking about, oh, I should probably just put this money towards like the house fund or something like that, right? So I could buy a home later on and stop renting. But
Yeah, that's Trey. If he's listening, I'm pretty sure he can relate. Dropping like 125 on a Knox first to score.
It's so
Jesus,
stupid.
man.
It's so
Jesus.
stupid. I do drop. I was like, oh, Alec Pierce. Like, let's just put $100 on his over or something, you know, or something like that. But fuck, it's so dumb. And every time I do it, I tell myself, this is stupid. This is stupid. Don't do this, Nate. Do it.
Do it.
And I knew too, right? Like I sent that text of all my screenshots of what I bet in our group text, and I said, you know, get ready for a bloodbath.
Yep.
And I knew it when I sent it, and then I knew it directly after that when Trey was like, well, I don't hate any of it. And that should have been the key for everybody else to bet the complete opposite.
Yeah, she's gone the other way on every single one of those bets.
I think the only thing I hit was like Kenneth Walker over yards or something like that, and he hit it in the second quarter. So
I wanted to get in. I had to ignore that chat for a good 4 or 5 days because I was in California. All
you can't bet there. Yeah, you can't bet there. That sucks.
So save me some money, probably.
Yeah, definitely. What, you got a question for me?
I do. So thoughts on the MLB playoff format?
I don't mind it. I like having more teams, right? I like having that piece to it. I think it makes it a little bit more exciting. The only problem I have with it, and I get it because it's weather restricted, right? Like we're playing in the end of October and we're the second round or the third round, right? So and T series can be long and stuff. You're going to be playing baseball through November, and that's an issue for weather because baseball is primarily played outside. I wish all the series, like make that wild card series 5. Make every other series for a team that won their division 7 games. That's all I want, right? If you have to start the season in mid-February or something like that, right? Like I get that places in the Northeast are freezing cold at that time frame, but you know, you could always make up those games, right? Or have those people develop some type of technology to clear snow, right? Do something like to be able to have those type of games, install heating devices within all the seats or whatever you got to do, but start it earlier so that we can have a better playoff run, because playoff baseball is kind of like playoff hockey. I see these two sports where you have like, you can get high scores, but primarily you're not going to have high scores so that like it generates that little bit of anxiety at all times, right? Like what's going to happen in this pitch? What's going to happen in this
factor
pitch?
for 9 innings.
Boom, 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 and you know, or whatever, and you hear it and you're like, oh, or whatever. So like I want that in the playoffs, and it's electric in the playoffs, especially when you got teams like the Yankees, you know, who have personalities, the Astros who definitely have personalities, right? Fucking hate them, but god damn it,
guys.
It's such good baseball to watch, right? They're good at baseball, but they just double down on the fact that they cheated. And then you got teams like the Padres, right? They're young and they got a lot of swag. They think that they're better. The team of California, they beat the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are like this pristine whatever, but then they also have fun too, right? But you could tell there's a lot of anxiety within that team to do well because, you know, you win 111 games, whatever. You're like the 5th best team ever to play baseball, and then you get bounced the first time you play, you know, and it's like, fuck, this sucks. But let me watch 7 games. Make someone win 4, right? When you're at that point, there's so many swings in baseball to where, you know, you can win 2 games in a row or you lose 3 in a row and you go on a streak, right? Like that's the fun stuff about baseball. But yeah, I'm okay with it. I like it. I like the more teams. I know Brandon doesn't like it because he's a Cards fan and they stink, but I don't know what he expected, you know, Albert Pujols to keep juicing and them not test him or whatever like that. I don't know, but I like it. I just wish we got more games of playoff baseball.
Yeah, 162 games. It spans, I think, almost 7 months. The regular season does.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I don't think after the wild card you should have less than 7 games in each of those series.
Yeah.
We're both Dodger fans. We got bounced in the divisional round, so maybe some bias here, but I don't think the Dodgers would have won the World Series. Do you? Probably not, right?
No way in hell.
Yeah, but it's just dumb because like we won 111 games, got bounced. The Braves and the Mets, they won 101 games each. They got bounced. And the Yankees should have got bounced if not for the MLB and the stupid weather. Like I think Cleveland would have won that series. So then that's your 4 top teams all out. Should have been out, honestly. But yeah, 7 games, just do it. But
yeah, but it also makes it good too, right? Like everybody has a chance, and you know, in baseball, you get on a little streak, you get some confidence. Like you're different in the batter's box, the pitcher's different, right? Stuff like that. Like it's just more exciting. and anybody can win it, right? The Braves were a wild card team last year too.
Every couple years, you get a wild card team that just catches fire.
Like it's hardly ever that the best team in baseball ends up winning the World Series, right? Like the best team overall. So, yep, there's that. You the same way, basically.
Yeah,
share the same sentiments.
Still triggered.
Yeah. The only thing that triggers me is like when you go on social and everybody just starts talking shit about how the Dodgers choked, and it's like you're talking about a team who was excellent for 7 to 8 months out of the entire season, right? Out of the entire year.
Did we have our pitching staff?
No. But that's not even the case. This is just nothing. And Gary Vee does this thing a lot too, where he talks about how people are cynical or they throw out hate on social, and all you got to talk about is, have compassion for them because they're hurting, because they have to go shit on people, whatever, for their downfalls. And it's like, you're talking about a team that lost 3 games within a week. Like, you've lost life, dog. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're talking about these guys choking. You choke. Like, you still don't do shit. You still don't. I don't know, whatever. I've ranted about that enough, but
I get it. I get it all the time on Twitter. Because I put ketchup on my steak, I get hated on daily.
I don't get why people even care. Like, ketchup is delicious, and actually, it's actually pretty good with steak. Like,
it's so funny. Like, as instant engagement. Anytime I see those stupid posts, I go ketchup.
Yeah,
every single time.
It's so good. Like, what's wrong with ketchup? Like, oh, I'm not a man because I have ketchup. Sorry, there's a $300 million quarterback out there who eats steak with ketchup. Go fuck yourself. And he could bag any chick in this country that he wants. So whatever. Moving on, news and notes. So we'll do a quick standings update of our league, and then we will jump into some NFL and sports news and notes here. So standings update, top of the standings this week, coming out of this week, 6 weeks into the NFL season, is the Pocket Dogs sitting alone at 5-1. Got 5 teams at 4-2. Milford Academy, they stink. They just lost to me. I smoked them. I don't even know what they're doing. I feel like the New York Jet. Maybe that's why, because I was like, oh, I'm going to beat the best team in the league right now. Take them down. Dragon Slayer. Shout out Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Password is Taco. Murder Boners. Fucking auto draft. We're going to make a rule about auto drafts next year. Too Hot to Handle. Boner Jams 03. Sitting at 3-3. The Dragon Slayer himself. That is me. You got the Eskimo Brothers, and I shave my balls for this. You, Tony, are sitting at 2-4. It's not looking good for you at whatsoever. Like, I'm surprised you got 2 wins. You probably played Chad, who is 0-6 matters now instead of Cops Lives Matter, and 3 Penis Wine and Nick, and they're both sitting at 0-6. So interesting that Nick made a bet with me being the bottom 3 team, and he hasn't got a win yet. So I had a whole segment to rag on him, but we're going to save that for later on when he's like 0-10 or something like that. So. Any thoughts on the standings going forward? Have you looked at any of the stuff in ESPN where it has the projections from the beginning, right?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you were number 1 before, and I think right now you're like 11 or 10 or something like that.
It was dead last time I looked at it.
Yeah, it's cool just seeing this red line, and then I have to like scroll across the screen to see where you ended up. It's pretty fun.
I drafted great. Nothing worked out after that. The moment the draft ended, I think I started moving back.
Do you think that we had all of the things that we all kind of thought, or people thought, or theories or whatever? Do you think it kind of regresses to the mean? Like, we saw some players this week that came out where it's like, hey, I was big on Juju coming into the season. I was big on Lazard and stuff like that. Some other little running backs, Josh Jacobs or whatever, where it's like, no, these guys are solid or whatever. And you don't see it at the beginning of the season because you're getting all these blow up performances, but teams didn't really play in the preseason. And Juju breaks out this week. He goes for like 20 points or whatever. One of that was like a 40-yard touchdown or something like that. But he's getting the catches and he's still getting targets. Guys like Claypool, stuff like that, where it's like, hey, we expected these guys to be big parts of the offenses. Do you think it kind of starts to get into the norm a little bit now going forward, or we still expected to see like trash, whatever, 40-point blowouts by, random players?
Yeah, I think last year, I think that's just the exception. I think I forget who it was, they posted a stat like fantasy scoring is down 22% this year over where we were at last year. So I think you made a comment last time we were on about how like you get yourself a quarterback and a tight end and like you're set. That's like 70 points right there. If you get like a Josh Allen 40 burger and a Kelsey or Andrews like 25, 30-point performance, right?
Yeah.
I think you could cover up a lot of that last season by having some of those positional players just because there were so many points being scored. This year's it's not like that. So I think we just need to look at that maybe going forward.
Yeah.
change our draft strategies next year. I don't know.
I'm interested to see where people go this coming up year, because I kind of went like I got Mixon or whatever, and then I waited on running back forever, right? I got stacked wide receivers. I can't even play them all, and I want to, but I'm interested to see where, because I felt like people were going so running back heavy at the beginning, right? And I was like, kind of wish I would have just got a quarterback 2 in there, like in the 3rd or 4th, but I like going in different directions than everybody else, right? If everybody's going this way,
that's
I
what
need
you
an
do,
advantage, right? So if people are going to go heavy quarterback, then it's like, all right, now I might go scoop up my running back, wide receiver stuff at the beginning, or tight ends or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see how people fly. Like if you're seeing TJ Hawkinson in like the 4th, 5th round, because people are like, oh, tight ends are drying up, you know, and it's like, okay, like we're good. That guy's getting 2 points a week, so. Yeah, because
I have Hawkinson, so I'm living that reality right now.
Yeah, Goff is over here slinging 400-yard games to these wide receivers nobody knows about. So, anyway, speaking about quarterbacks slinging it all across the field, and you brought up the Chicago Bears earlier. I saw this stat. I think it was on Twitter. It's like a little graphic. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills has accumulated more offensive yards himself than the entire Chicago Bears have as a team 6 weeks through the season. Do you think that by the end of the season, Josh Allen and that offense can produce more yards than the entire Chicago Bears?
Yes, I think he's on pace for like over 5,000, like 5,100 passing yards, 600 or 700 rushing yards. So absolutely, I do. And the Bills, they got the 28th ranked rushing offense. This is like a DVOA stat. It's like defensive adjusted value over average, like an efficiency metric. So yeah, why not? Like they're first in passing DVOA by a 10 percentage point margin. So why stop? Like why stop passing over running, right?
Yeah.
And Josh Allen, like he does it all. He can run it in, he can throw it in. Like he's fun to watch. And we mentioned the advantage you have if you have him on your team. I think Terrence has him, you son of a bitch.
If the Chicago Bears cannot produce more yards as a team, right? It sucks because they're going to get a lot of kickoff return yards, right? But let's say even total yards, kickoff return, punt return yards, Josh Allen creates more offensive yards than they do at the end of the season. They should just quit the NFL. Like just no, you know what? The Bears are not allowed in the NFL anymore. They go to the AFL or whatever these other ones are that the Rock owns or something like that. Go play over there because
you're trying to relegate them.
Yeah, relegate them, right? Relegate them. So
I'm looking up the Bears yardage total right now. I'm curious now that you brought it up.
Yeah, I forget where I saw it. It was like a little graphic thing, but I wonder if there's other teams that'll have something like this too, right? I mean, Josh Allen runs the ball a lot too, so that goes into it. But I don't know.
They've got 1,700 yards
total
through 6 weeks. So what's that times what, 3? Yeah, he's beating them for sure.
Oh my god, it sucks so bad. Anyways, talking about teams that suck, we're gonna go. This is gonna be a weekly thing. All right, every time we do the podcast, we're gonna go over this little piece called Rams by the Numbers. All right, so earlier we brought up in our last episode about Matthew Stafford delivering the ball to white players and non-white players and their success as a team. So this last week, these guys played the Carolina Panthers. They had 29 rushes. 5 of them went to white guys, 24 to non-white guys, right? I'm not even going to say black. We're going to say non-white. But I just said black. It doesn't matter. Anyways, 31 targets in the passing game, 15 to white guys, and 16 to non-white guys. This is not the same Rams team that we've known for 2 years, 3 years under this regime. So in total opportunities, the Rams had 60 plays where players were going to touch the ball, or opportunities to touch the ball. 20 went to white players, 40 to non-white players. That's a 2-to-1. So 2-to-1. Rams 24, Panthers 10. Is this a coincidence or is this not a coincidence? Do you think the Rams are thinking about this and saying, hey, Matt Stafford, give it to the black guys? Obviously, they're more athletic. That's why you don't see any white corners in the league, because they cannot. It's just a fact. We can't compete. The best basketball players in the world are all black dudes. They're not white dudes. Stop giving white dudes the ball. the white dudes are good at one thing, and that is quarterbacking and blocking. That is about it. Quarterbacks and blockers. Kick the ball too. Hell of a lot of kickers. Maybe that's because they're all in like prep league, travel soccer and stuff like that growing up, because they all grew up in privileged families. But do you think there's truth data to this? I need to go back to last year and see what it was like when they won a Super Bowl. But do you think?
I think they succumbed to public pressure, right? Like they saw the TacoCorp tweets and they had to change things up.
Yeah, this is definitely what it was.
Oh, I saw that the Rams and the 49ers are in the trade market for CMC. If that happens, CMC to the Rams, like your theory is correct, and you need to go on record with more tweets.
Oh,
probably just do that now.
Yeah, the only white guy that's good at playing running back since like Peyton Hillis in 1 year. Like that's all it is. Yeah. 1 year, Peyton Hillis. Got him on the Madden cover with that bull ringed helmet or whatever like that, and we never heard from him again.
They think he had the neck roll and everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know, man. 2-to-1 targets equals 2 touchdown wins. So there we go. I don't know.
It's just if they have Cooper Kupp, they have Ben Skoranek. I think he's like a guy out of Notre Dame.
Shut up.
They have Tyler Higbee. Like they just have a lot of those guys who are getting meaningful snaps, and so they're getting the targets because he's clearly not on the same page with A-Rob right now.
There is not a Notre Dame fan in the world who knows who Ben Skoranek is.
You didn't know him?
No, I never knew who the hell this dude was. And all of a sudden they're like, yeah, out of Notre Dame, rookie. And I'm like, I don't remember seeing this guy play. Like, he's not a thing. He's not a thing.
He's Cooper Kupp light. That's what he is.
Whatever. He just looks like the guy, so they get confused on the defense.
Yep.
All right.
In a bunch formation. It's like a disguise thing, right?
Have you seen those images where they're like, this is what they're really trying to do? Is why all white people are on the field?
Yeah.
I'm certain. So like that day where I started being like, I think it was week 1, right?
Yeah.
And I tweeted that thing out. I looked up like Matt Stafford white. There was not one tweet before me.
No, you
blew
that
posted anything. It blew up because of me.
Yeah.
So, and now everybody's like, oh, this is this. Yeah, suck it. Whatever. I don't need the followers. All right. So prior to the season, Tony, we gave our picks on our division winners and 2 wildcard teams from each conference. Mine's not going well whatsoever. Some of my hot takes or whatever. I'm going to win that Bengals one. I'm certain of it. But
yeah.
Anyways, 6 weeks down, you could change it all up. Who plays in the NFC and AFC championships, and then who makes it to the Super Bowl and wins it?
All right, so I've got new wildcard teams. I've got the championship teams and the Super Bowl. What do you want? What do you want? Let's just start with who makes it to the conference championship. Okay. On the AFC side, I got the Chiefs and the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's different. I don't know if I'm deviating from what I had picked originally. I think we both had the Chargers, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've sustained some injuries. They can't escape that. They're like Baltimore in that regard. But I like Kansas City. I don't think they've really missed a beat, even though like they have everyone playing receiver. You never know who's going to, be the number 1 receiver. Kelsey, he's the top pass catcher, but you never know who the top receiver is going to be on that team outside of Kelsey. Mm-hmm. But they've been playing fine. The defense is okay. And then the Bills, like they're on another level. So I think they'll be there as well.
Okay. And then in your NFC,
Eagles, Bucks.
The Bucks.
I think that's what I had. So I don't know if I've changed from that either.
Yeah, I don't know. Who wins out of the Chiefs Bills?
I have the Bills taking that matchup. Yep.
And then who wins out of the NFC?
So the Bucks smoked the Eagles last year. I think they played in the wild card or divisional round.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm taking the Eagles this year.
Okay.
Tampa Bay's not the same. Philly's got, I think, like a top 5 defense, top 5 offense. Like, I think they're legit this year.
Yeah. And then who wins it all?
Bills.
The Bills? The Bills?
Yep.
All right. So you got the Bills winning it. And then I will go with my AFC. I'm also going to go Chiefs, Bills. And then I am going to select the Chiefs to win that. I don't know what it is. They're going to figure it out. Isaiah Pacheco is going to be part of the offense, hopefully later on, right?
Probably.
So I think they're gonna figure out. They're out of the gates hot. No one in the AFC West is going to beat them. No one else. They might lose to the Niners this weekend. They're going to San Francisco, but the Niners have like 5 Pro Bowlers that are on the IR right now, so that's kind of tough, right? But there's that. In the NFC, I am selecting the San Francisco 49ers. They are going to represent one of the teams there. And then I'm also going to select the team who nobody thinks is good. Do you know who this team is?
You better not fucking say the Giants.
Hell yeah, the New York Football Giants.
They're not good.
We're gonna have Danny Dimes. No, you know what this is? I think I was texting. Oh, it was my buddy Aaron. I was texting my buddy Aaron from back home because I was trying to get him to go to New York with me, but he's got to work like the day before Christmas or something. And we were talking about what the season's like, and it's like, you know what's gonna happen is Jimmy G's gonna fuck around. Because he's an Iron fan too. I was like, Jimmy G's gonna fuck around and win a Super Bowl and fuck this whole thing up because now they're gonna have to pay this dude, and they just got Trey Lance, and then they're gonna draft another quarterback this coming up year, right? And everyone's gonna be like, oh, this, and he's gonna Matt Stafford the 49ers basically and just stink ass after. But it seems like one of those things where it's like Jimmy G would win a Super Bowl, so the Niners are just all fucked up, right? But this also seems like because he's a big Danny Dimes guy too, right? And so am I. But it's like, this seems like one of those Eli Manning beats Tom Brady type of seasons, right? Like they shouldn't be doing this, right? Their wide receivers aren't all that great, but they have a bunch of little slot guys that can go all over the place. Some big white tight end like Jeremy Shockey, right? And some Billingsley guy. But it seems like one of those years where it's like you can get a Giants, like, how are they doing this? And maybe they go on like a 4-game skid, slide in as a wild card and go for it. But yeah. I got the Niners and the Giants in the NFC Championship, and then I got the 49ers to win that. They're going to go to the Super Bowl, and then I will select the 49ers to win the Super Bowl this year. So that is me. It is written. So.
No, I don't like any of that.
Yeah. The only reason that the Chiefs wouldn't beat the Bills is because it's going to be hellacious weather going in to Buffalo, right? And for an AFC Championship game in January or something like that. So that's our picks. You got the Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Bucks, Bills playing the Eagles, Bills winning the Super Bowl. I got the Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Giants, Chiefs, Niners in the Super Bowl. Niners win the Super Bowl. It is written. The Niners should have won. Neither one of those teams last year should have been in the Super Bowl, and everybody knows it. The Rams were not. They're like one of the worst teams to ever win a Super Bowl. It was crazy. So the Cincinnati Bengals lose to the Chiefs. If they play that game 100 times, they lose 97 of them.
Probably.
And if the Niners play the Rams that game 100 times, they win it at least like 78, 79 times. So everybody knows this. It's factual. So there's that.
I think Kyle Shanahan goes into the fourth quarter with a lead 79, 80% of the time and loses all those games. I think that's what you meant to say.
I thought you were going to say Kyle Shanahan goes in with a lead of 79 points and loses the game. Have you seen the Lamar Jackson stats? He's basically the Kyle Shanahan of quarterbacks right now. You know, after 3 weeks, everybody was like, the price ain't what it was before. The price ain't what it was before, right? All these guys on ESPN and stuff like that. And then they blow 21-point lead. They blow 14-point lead. They blow 10-point lead, like all second half leads. And Lamar Jackson stinks. So, yeah. That's got to be interesting. Like you're just watching his market value like rise and dip and rise and dip. It's like trying to trade GameStop.
Is it? Well, hold on. Is Mojo sponsoring you? Is that what that is? What is that?
Huh? I don't know what that is.
Mojo's like you can buy shares of athletes.
Oh, that's sick, dude.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Jeff Ratcliffe, FTN, is on like Sirius. He's got a sponsor and ad. He talks about that all the time, but yeah.
I've heard about it because people were like you can go into fractional markets of sports cards, right? On websites like Collectible and stuff like and Rally. So you can have a piece of like a big card, right? Like a $200,000 card and you owned about $1,000 worth of it, right? And it trades up and down, right? People are buying different shares and stuff like that. So kind of the same concept, but with actual humans. Is that modern day slavery, Tony? Is that what that is?
You might need a whole different podcast episode to get into sports and that.
Conspiracy theory episode, right?
Oh my God.
The NFL owners. Dan Schneider knows about it, and damn it, we're going to get to the bottom of this. So, yeah. Every NFL owner is shitting their pants right now because Dan Snyder's like, fuck y'all, y'all ain't doing shit. You can't fire me. I got dirt on everybody. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, all right, moving on. last topic under this thing. You and me, Tony, we play this week here in TacoCorp Fantasy Football League, battling the 3-3 against the 2-4. I mean, my team's coming together. I just took down, the top team in the league. I took down the top team in the league with Matt Stafford at quarterback. He got me a solid 6.5 points, as he always does. Want to make a wager this week?
Tony Patriots in shambles, but why the hell not? Let's do it.
All right. So my idea for our wager is you have a podcast, the 58 West King podcast, available on all platforms out there, and you can click on that link that's down below, and whatever you're listening to this on, you can just get taken straight to it and hit the subscribe button, support the guy. And I got a podcast, obviously we're on it. So the wager would be the winner gets to do a recording for the intro of the other person's podcast for next week. So you will get one spot on this podcast here, and I get at least 3. I mean, you guys put out all kinds of podcasts every single week, so at least I just want one. Maybe
I'll give you a week's worth. We do 3 to 4 episodes a week. I'll give it to you for the week.
Nice. You good with that?
Yeah. You just want to record it after we're done here, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna fucking wipe the floor with my team.
No, I gotta think about this, right? I gotta listen to some different music. I gotta listen to some diss tracks, some of that stuff with Eminem or something like that, and get my words together. So I gotta scour the internet for things that you've said in the past, and pull up your Josh Hader tweets from 12 years ago.
Oh God, don't do that.
Yeah, everybody's excited about that guy, but anyways, that's hurt. That's me spewing hate right now because I'm in a bad spot. Gary V would talk about me right now, be like, be compassionate with that guy because he's hurting inside.
You want to talk about it?
No. All right, let's move on. We got to do a draft this week, and look, you've been gone. I've been gone. I did some travel to California as well. I went to Virginia and then came back here. Been gone, and as every parent knows, we don't buy Halloween candy for trick-or-treaters until it's a couple days before trick-or-treating, right? Before Halloween. Next weekend's going to be bananas because it's a weekend and Halloween's on a Monday, right? You need to get to you got to go to Walgreens to get it, or CVS or something, because, it's not going to be in all the Walmarts and Targets or whatever, grocery stores. So anyways, we are going to do our top 5 Halloween treats. I label this as treats because people put different things in kids' Halloween baskets, or little tubs, or whatever you want to call those, pillowcases, whatever they're carrying around, right? And they're getting candy. People get other things in there too. So our top 5 Halloween treats draft. Tony, I'll let you go first. Unless you want to go second. Damn it, I tried.
You tried. I like the turn. I like the turn. Yeah, you're not going to pick my number 1 choice.
Damn it. I'm going to be mad because I have one that I'm like, you're not going to have, but I think you might now that you brought it up. So, but you wouldn't use your number 1 on it because you don't think that I would have it either. So anyways, my number 1 is going to be the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. That includes the pumpkin one and everything like that. So Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Reese's soft.
I love them because my kids are allergic to peanut butter. So I get all of them.
Lucky. That's a good one.
Yep.
My number 1 pick, and this is the number 1 candy of the fall season. I look forward to this every year. They got the gourmet stuff available at King Soopers. Get yourself a bag. It's candy corn.
God damn it. I fucking knew it. When I wrote out my list, I said he's going to have fucking candy corn. I'm not even writing it on here. You're the worst. You're the worst. Good. It tastes like styrofoam.
Well, styrofoam's delicious then.
All right, your 2.1.
2.1 Twix, the little left side, right side Twix.
Yep.
So good.
Yep, that's good. All right, and then my 2.2 is going to be Kit Kat. So I will go with Kit Kats, and then I'm going to go with Crunch, the Crunch chocolate bar, because it's got that little texture to it or whatever. The Crispies in it. That's what I want.
Those are pretty good. Kit Kats, that was definitely on my list. Crunch, I didn't have that one, but I don't hate them. Let's see. Third pick here. I'm going to go with the Snickers. Little bite-sized guys. I'll throw some Snickers in the bag.
That's a good one, too. I'm not a real big fan of Snickers, other than the fact that my kids can't eat it. So
it's another one. Yeah.
I just keep putting them in there.
Yeah. Fourth pick here. Reese's Pieces. Does that count? Reese's doesn't include that, right?
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. Give me some Reese's Pieces.
That is like one of the best candies ever. Like when I don't know if you remember this, but when I was living with you, I would literally just be like, yeah, I'm going to go to 7-Eleven real quick, grab Charlotte some hot fries just so I can go grab like 2 or 3 bags of Reese's Pieces. And then when I'm like supposed to be going to bed, I'm just like picking one out at a time.
What's better, the Reese's Pieces or the peanut butter M&Ms? They're the same thing essentially.
No, the Reese's Pieces are better.
Reese's Pieces, okay.
Yeah.
There's more peanut butter, I feel like, in the peanut butter M&Ms.
I think the quality of peanut butter in Reese's Pieces is way better, though.
Okay.
Have you had the Reese's peanut butter cups with Reese's Pieces in them?
No, that's too much.
No, it is not.
No, that's some like Inception shit. I'm not doing that.
It's not. So, all right. My next one then is going to. Oh man. All right, I got 2, so it doesn't matter. But I'm going to go with a Three Musketeers.
Oh,
this is my favorite candy bar.
Chocolate mousse.
Yeah, so if you're ever like in a grocery store or a gas station, you're like, you know what, Nate would really like a Three Musketeers. Let me get him a 3. Do that, you know. I wonder if Nate wants candy. Yes, I do want candy. Get me a Three Musketeers. It doesn't have to be the king size. That's kind of convenient though, because it comes in like 2 little pieces, so I can eat one of them and then put the other one in the fridge for a little bit, and then you got a nice little cold one too.
That's also a pro tip with the Reese's. I meant to mention this earlier. Stick your Reese's in the freezer. Otherwise, you're going to eat it in like 2 bites. You throw it in the freezer, you get like 10 bites out of that bad boy.
Yeah, because it's so hard to get through, but it's kind of fun to do it, and then it starts to melt in your mouth a little bit, and it's really, really fun.
It's so good.
It's so good, dude. Jeez, look, this is all free too. We're doing this for free. We're not even like on OnlyFans or anything like that. No. It's crazy. Just putting out free game. You're welcome. Cool. Oh, that's gross. I gotta edit that out. No, because I'm not editing anything. All right, my last one, and this is the one that I thought you were having until I realized you're doing candy corn. But this is actually one of my favorites, and I think a lot of people hate it, but it's so good. And it's those popcorn balls. When you get the ball of popcorn, it's like a sphere.
What neighborhoods are you going to that are giving out popcorn balls? No, you picking like the retirement communities?
Yeah, like it's like you get a popcorn ball and a coupon.
Yeah, 50 cents off. Box of tricks.
Box of tricks, right? The popcorn ball is good, and then they have like different ones. So it'd be like caramel and it's just like it's almost like a kettle corn style popcorn ball because it's got to have something to make it stick. So they put the sugars and stuff. It's so good, and it's like it's just something that people don't like too. So, or they're like, what, a big old popcorn ball? And I'm like, yeah, it's a big old popcorn ball. You can just take it on the road, open it, eat it while you're going. You got popcorn all over you, but it's kind of fun because you can pick it. And then you got something to pick out of your teeth for like a good hour, which gives you something to do for the rest of the day if you're ever bored. So
yeah, long drive. You got some oral fixation to stay awake.
Yeah, everybody likes a little oral on a long drive. Yeah. Your last one, the 5.2.
I don't know why the kids get these. They don't eat them. I like them. I'm a huge fan. They're similar to the Crunch, but they're not the same. They have caramel. I'm taking the 100 grand.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think of that.
No.
Oh, those ones are so good.
The most expensive of all the Halloween treats.
Yeah. It's so good. And the thing with the 100 grand too is like if you buy one of those like big mixture packs, it always comes with like the worst other chocolates, like Hershey's dark chocolate. Nobody wants bite-sized Hershey dark chocolate. Like, get the fuck out of here.
The yellow ones, is that Good Bar or something?
Yeah. It's like that, a yellow one and a Heath. Like, that's it.
Nope.
Like, no, I wanted one thing. So stupid. So stupid. All right, to recap, top 5 Halloween treats. Tony, you got candy corn, Twix, Snickers, Reese's Pieces, 100 grand. And I am sitting here with the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Kit Kat Crunch, 3 Musketeers, and a popcorn ball. This just sounds like another victory to me. That popcorn ball, I swear, is so underrated, dude. I'm going to get you one.
You're out of your damn mind.
I'm going to bring you a whole box. I'm going to go to like Costco or Sam's Club and just get like a whole 30-pack box or whatever like that and take it to your house. And you're going to have to
Are you bringing the girls over to our neighborhood for trick-or-treating?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, I'll have some popcorn balls and coupons ready for you.
Coupons on toilet paper or something like that too.
Yeah.
Some, toothpaste, things that are necessary in life.
You're not beating the candy corn list. Yeah, just telling you that now.
No. Popcorn ball versus candy corn. People are picking the popcorn ball. It's a poll. It's a poll. Let's both put up polls of the same thing. You get a lot more traction. You got like 6 times more followers than I do.
Right.
So
I'll post it right after this.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. All right, that's that. I'm gonna win. Anyways, rants and raves is our last segment before we get into banger of the week. Tony, you got a rant or a rave you would like to share with the audience?
I do. I bitched about Disneyland earlier, so I'll go ahead and rave about them now. Have you been in like the last 2 or 3 years?
2018.
2018
Close.
was the Star Wars like area up and running yet?
No, it was being built.
Ooh.
It was being built.
Dude, it's legit. So Rise of the Resistance, I'm going to rave about that.
Mhm.
I've never been on a ride like that. Like it was like you were on a movie set, and the set pieces were like crazy, crazy cool.
Mhm.
They had like animatronics, which is like pretty cool. It's like I think the very beginning of the ride, you walk through a bay, you're captured by the First Order, and
Mhm.
there's like 30 stormtroopers just standing there in formation, all holding their guns, and like they're just moving, right? They're robots, but they're
Mhm.
just moving. They're animated to do so, right? They have holograms, so you get like General Hux, Kylo Ren's there. You get videos of like Oscar Isaac, Poe
Mhm.
Dameron, Rey. She's a hologram. I think R2's in there. Like you get all the movie, like the actors from the movies, the most recent trilogy. Like they're on the ride. They're part of the ride, and it's just like an experience. It's a long ass wait, but
Mhm.
I think if you go to Disneyland, like it's one you have to go on. That's probably like I would recommend this to people if you go to Disneyland, get there before the park opens because I think they open the gates early. The park opens at 8. You can walk in sooner. They don't want
Mhm.
everyone standing out there 8 o'clock, right? Go
Yeah.
straight to Rise of the Resistance and jump in line. That is a Lightning Lane one, but you have to pay extra, like on top of the Genie Plus. So it's like an
Oh,
individual thing because of course Disney, right? They're
yeah.
nickel and diming us, but that ride is like it's crazy good, like 10 out of 10.
Nice. When you went to Disney, did you have all the like they had all the Halloween stuff up and everything too, right?
Oh yeah, Haunted
It's pretty
Mansion.
cool. Yeah. That
All
one,
Nightmare
that's so
Before
cool.
Christmas. So
Yeah.
cool.
Did you get
That's
a
another one.
nightmare?
That's
Hmm.
another one though. The wait was like 2 hours because they do
Yeah.
an individual Lightning Lane. So not part of Disney or Genie Plus. You got to pay extra for that one on top
Yeah.
of paying extra for Lightning Lane. So stupid.
Nice.
But the ride's cool. Like you walk by and you just hear the music. You see all the decorations. Jack
Yeah.
Skellington, Oogie Boogie, they're all there.
That's cool.
It's
Did
legit.
they have like all the themed churros and stuff like that too?
I didn't see that. I just saw
No.
regular ass churros.
So when we went during Halloween. It was the last time we went. Is in 2018. I think Adrian had just gotten back from like one of her schools and was about to move to Virginia.
Mhm.
So we went down there, whatever, and they had like Maleficent churro, and it was like Oreo crusted or something like that, right? And it had like this green sour apple like dipping sauce because they give you a
Mhm.
dipping sauce with every churro, right? But it's like a green
Dang.
sour apple one, or they had different things like that that were all themed desserts and treats and stuff.
Mhm.
That's what we would go for because the girls were pretty young at the time. So like Layla would ride some stuff, and
Mhm.
then we'd have like a double stroller, and then they would pass out like midday, and me and Adrian would just be like, "Let's go!" We're like hopping park to park to get different foods and stuff because we're
Yeah.
like, we're not buying 6 of these things,
Yeah.
like or 4 of these things or whatever like that. So that's pretty cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, that's all you got right there.
Yeah. What do you got?
So me, so I've talked a lot about stuff before about like emotions or whatever like that, or just things happening in life. So I kind of wanted to rave a little bit about people that are going through stuff, that personally stuff that is like really kind of heartbreaking, uh, can be detrimental to your mind or your mental or whatever like that. And those people that just keep going and doing it, right? So they can let it affect them super negatively, and maybe it does, right? But they still get the stuff done that they got to get done, right? Like they're doing well, taking care of the kids. When you see their kids, they're super happy, right? So you know that they're not feeling the effect of whatever's going on in life, whether that be, anything that you can think of negatively, right? Anything that would put you in a really bad mood, or just that you would think can just beat you down, and you wonder how someone's doing, but you don't want to reach out sometimes or whatever like that. So shout out to those people. I know we got some people that we're close to that are going through that. I've been through it pretty heavy. I've talked openly about that too. So a lot of people that are pretty close to us that are going through some of the worst times in life right now. But um, just super proud of them. They keep doing it. Everything looks pretty good. They struggle, they cry, they do their thing or whatever like that. But in the morning, they wake up and they put their pants on and they get shit done that they got to get
Mhm.
shit done. and don't let it affect their lives to where it's such a big negative impact on everything, right? Controlling what they can control and getting through it any way that they can. So shout out to those people and tip your cap to you. Whew. Anything else for the listeners before we get out of here, Tony? We got it under an hour.
No, I think that's it. This is a record time for us.
Don't talk more because under an hour. No.
I got a day job now, so I got to get to bed, Nate. All right.
Yeah. I don't have kids here until like Saturday. So
yeah.
If you want to go to an Avs game Friday night, let me know. So I'll buy your ticket. I kind of want to go. Just they're playing the Kraken, so it's kind of cool to see like the Seattle team,
Seattle franchise.
Avs just won a championship, so ticket prices are a little up there, but it's not too bad. So, but the opening night was terrible. It was like you couldn't pay less than $400 to get in that place because they're doing the banner and everything like that. But it's down like 80% for any other game. So, all right. Then when we get out of here, let's pay some homage out to some of our homies. One of them being you, Tony, and the 58 West King podcast. You want to tell people about what you guys do over there?
Yeah, we do preview and recap episodes for all the NFL action every week. We also preview and recap our home league. So do something similar to what Nate does here. You can look through past episodes, get to learn about all of our different managers. We have, reoccurring guests who come on the show, talk about what's going on in their life, talk some shit. We've got a website. I've got the Twitter at 58W King Podcasts. My co-host Matt Graham, he's in this league in TacoCorp at Graham the Man 69. He just did like 3 solo podcasts while I was on vacation. Pretty legit.
His manager segment was so good.
So good. I might let him take over duties just altogether. I'll just be the edit guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can find all of our stuff on everything. Apple, Spotify, Google. It's out there.
Cool. We need Matt to take care of his health so that I can get on that thing too and just rage on people. So I really want to rage on Jason Baziotis and the guy who's winning that league, 3-time champion and stuff like that. Go look at who's starting at quarterback and tell me that it should be there. I hope that he loses every game because he is starting Tcffl at quarterback, just waiting for that one. Yeah. Tcffl quarterback. Eligible in Yahoo, and you want to talk shit about ESPN? Get out of here.
So what's his position then? If it's not quarterback,
it's tight end.
Okay, how many targets and receptions does he have on the year through 6 weeks?
It doesn't matter.
1 target.
He's not a quarterback.
1 reception. He has more rushes than he has targets.
He should be a running back.
Exactly. The whole position thing with Tcffl needs to be addressed.
They do it in baseball though. Like there's amount of eligible snaps for you that you have to, or eligible plays for you to get position eligibility, right? It's like, and it's dynamic. If you're not playing that, then they take it away because you're not playing that position anymore. They do it in fantasy baseball. Do it in this too. It's stupid. We've
had like Devin Hester, like those types of players who are just like return mans. That's almost all they do. Maybe they line up in the backfield, but those guys are designated as receivers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tcffl has returned more kicks or punts than he has targets as a tight end. I'm doing quotations. So like, I don't know why he has the tight end designation. I think it's
his
dumb.
Position on the depth chart is not quarterback. Like he's not he's not there.
Don't leave it to the Saints. Like this is where the platforms have to take matters into their own hands.
Yeah. Be good humans.
So how does that work in your league? Because is he also going to be listed as a tight end if he's also getting points as the
he's only listed as a tight end, so he doesn't get team quarterback stuff.
He might start this week.
If he plays that position, I think it goes there, but it's not like if he's
so weird.
It's like when Saquon lines up in the backfield, like he doesn't get quarterback points in our league or anything like that, right? So like you don't see Danny Dimes with, or that position with quarterback points. So
and the quarterback position, the tight end position is so shitty this year because of Tcffl's 1 or 2 games that he's had. I think one game was like a 3 touchdown. He's the tight end 3 in standard, tight end 6 in PPR.
But you can't start
one catch. He's got one catch.
But why start it? Like he had week 1, he had 15 points, and then 2 weeks ago he had like 40 points.
Yeah,
and everything else is like 1 point something. So why even do it? Like go get your 6, 7, 8 points, whatever like that. But for the sake of time, you could also look at the Whiskey Flick podcast that Terrence done, the infamous team that I just slayed, the Milford Academy this week. I dominated. Let's just put that on the record. Terrence Dunn, check out his podcast. He reviews movies, drinks booze. He just did some of the Batman stuff. He's got some football stuff coming out later on too as well. So that's a really fun podcast if you're into movies and you want to learn a little bit more about some of the in-depth stuff about it, or people's takes or whatever like that. But anyways, let's get out of here. Banger of the week. So whether you are somebody who's going through a bunch of shit, right? This is a pretty cool song to listen to, and you're like, oh, you get yourself in a mood. You go left and right on the chair, like the girl in Save the Last Dance. I watched that the other night too. It's on Netflix. Save the Last Dance. That's a pretty good movie. I also watched Love and Basketball for the first time, which is terrible for me because I'm a rom-com guy. I watched that for the first time. It's competing with Fever Pitch right now. It's my favorite movie, and I'm really torn. I'm really torn. So, anyways. Going through a rough time, cool song to kind of get hyped to or whatever like that. Put yourself in a mood concept. I mean, this is the song I'm listening to every week when I'm playing fantasy football now, because I started out like 1 and 2 or something like that. People are like, oh man, Nate's team stinks. He's got Matt Stafford. He stinks. Boom, 3 and 3. We're coming through. Beat the best team in the league. I'm about to beat Tony. I'm about to be on the podcast. At the intro for the podcast next week. Stuff like that. I don't know. Whatever it is you want to use this song for, I'll use it this week. And actually, Tony, did you know that this is a song with metaphors in it? So, or just change names, like 50 Cent changed the name, right? But it's actually me rapping as 50 Cent, and he's actually talking about you in this song, right? So your jaw rule. And then later on in the song, there's a thing, a clip from Charlotte that's talking, trying to defend you and stuff like that. So anyways, the song is Back Down by 50 Cent. For Tony, I'm Nate. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. The song is legit.
It's so good, dude.
If you're going through some stuff, this is a great song. If you've been shot in the leg twice, this is a great song to walk out to.